a very warm welcome to your English News Bulletin with Television Tonga. Making headlines, government this morning released monetary funds to the Rugby League and the Rugby Union national teams. Digicel Tonga today starts distributing high-speed internet through connection to the fibre optic cable, and illegal methods of harvesting sea cucumber on the rise. These and more stories later on in this bulletin. I'm Fatai Whenga with the news for tonight. The government's donation to Tonga's Rugby League and Rugby Union was officially released this morning after the signing ceremony between the government and the two parties. Anasi Falikano reports.
The CEO of the Ministry of Finance and National Planning, Tatafu Moeaki, signed on behalf of the government, while Tavake Whangpo signed on behalf of the Tonga National Rugby League Board, and Fuka Kiteke Aho signed for the Tonga National Rugby Union Board. The donation he signed is to the tune of 250,000 per anga for the Tonga Rugby League and 100,000 per anga for the Tonga Rugby Union. The assistance was this morning signed after being approved from the Privy Council last month. Information from the Ministry of Internal Affairs says the Deputy Prime Minister, Honourable Sami Waipulu, conveys the government's support of the Mate Tonga team. Speaking to Radio and Television Tonga News, Fuka Kiteke Aho thanked the government for the donation. The money will be transferred straight to the players, and we will try our best to ensure that the agreement signed today will be used properly as agreed. Meantime, the financial support for the 2014 Winter Olympic Games in Europe is yet to be released. For Television Tonga News, I'm Anasi Falikano.
The government yesterday launched its first ever official website or portal that serves as a point of entrance to all 15 government ministries' online information. The website is www.tongaportal.com.to. It has been organised and structured for easy accessibility to the website of each government ministry. Sinlatu tells you more.
The site will provide important and updated government news, information, in addition to links to all government ministries, government agencies and public enterprises. The Prime Minister and Minister for Information and Communications, Lord Tuivakano, noted that the new form of global connectivity with access to information and knowledge will improve quality of life as important information on health, education, employment and business services are now just a click away. His Lordship also highlighted that Tonga could effectively embrace ICT and develop new industry sectors, creating additional jobs, thus increasing national prosperity. Meanwhile, in a press release, the Director of the Ministry of Information and Communications, Mr. Paula Povalumao, says, with the rapid growth of Internet and ICT development in Tonga, it is important that government is prepared to facilitate this fast-paced evolutionary transformation. The portal would contribute to economic growth and development, including social, political, and cultural benefits. Products and services need no longer be constrained by distance or time, and companies in Tonga can now trade and collaborate with suppliers and customers in every corner of the world. The government portal site was designed with the kind assistance of Digit Global System Limited of Singapore and is being administered by the Ministry of Information and Communications. For Television Tonga News, I'm Sinilato.
Tonga is optimistic of much cheaper and better internet access after Digicel Tonga declared they will today start distributing high-speed internet through the fibre optic cable. Anasi Falikano reports.
The Digicel Tonga company today connect to the fibre optic cable as the second internet service provider to distribute the internet through the cable. This is since His Majesty King Tupou VI officially commissioned the cable in Tonga in August this year, where TCC was the only internet service provider for Tonga that is connected to the fibre optic cable. According to the Director of the Ministry of Information and Communication, Paula Mao, says this is good news because there can be a competition in the market, making internet cheaper for the customers. Also speaking to Radio and Television Tonga News, the CEO of the Digital Tonga, Jack Burke, says they've agreed on soon as the technical work completes in their office, which they will soon join the other internet provider in distributing the high-speed internet to the local customers.
It's an exciting time. I think Tonga should be excited. We're going to completely change the competitive landscape here in Tonga. So our competitor has been out there with fibre for the last couple of months. We join that playing field tomorrow, and we're going to continue to deliver our promise on delivering the best value, the best experience, and the best customer service with regards to internet connectivity here in Tonga. Yeah, it was launched 3 months ago. We've been in final negotiations, not only with TCL, but also ensuring that from a business perspective that we can put a compelling business case to make sense. But I think the focus is we are connected. We are going to be providing that.
Meanwhile, the acting CEO of Tonga Communications Corporation, Ane Mailangi, told Radio and Television Tonga that they are looking forward for more cooperation with Digital Tonga. Fibre optic cable is connected to Tonga from the Southern Cross Company of Fiji. It aimed at boosting the internet accessibility and affordability in Tonga. For Television Tonga News, I'm Manasi Falagaono.
Illegal methods for harvesting of sea cucumber is on the rise, especially on deep sea waters. This is according to the acting head of the Ministry of Fisheries, Boaz Ngalwafe, while the exportation period for sea cucumber ends yesterday, October 31st. Linda Filier reports.
The Ministry of Fisheries is currently underway with the work to ensure that all processed sea cucumbers are ready to be exported on its final shipment for this year, which is next week. This is according to the head of Aquaculture Research of Fisheries, Boaz Ngalwafe. Every exporter's produce have been stored ready for its shipment overseas. We have cooperated with the Customs Department and locked all the container ready to be shipped, and paperwork has been carried out to make sure that everything goes smoothly according to the law. However, if the ministry found any sea cucumber after October 31st, it will be pronounced illegal. Mr. Ngalwafe adds, despite the increase on illegal harvesting of sea cucumber, but the amount of export to the international market has declined. This year, a lot of illegal fishing methods such as Keselinta were resulted. However, this resulted to many thefts and injuries of local fishermen. The highest sea cucumber exported to foreign markets from Tonga was recorded in 2009 and 2010, with a total export of more than 300 tons. The ministry is also looking forward to conduct a survey to review the current situation of sea cucumber in Tongan's water, where the last survey carried out by the Ministry of Fisheries in 2010, and it shows the decrease in these marine organisms.
Justice Charles Cato this afternoon adjourned the sentencing of the accused Vatulele Tuptupu until next Tuesday. This is after the accused was charged of alleged drunk driving and manslaughter by negligent driving. This led to a fatal accident on August 1st, 2011. Prior to an appearance in court, he was found guilty by the jury. Meanwhile, the prosecutor for the Crown Services Fund legal counsel for the accused Lakini was given a chance to make a submission before the sentence delivered next week. Also at court today were families and children of the deceased. One of the concerns related to climate change is the amount of carbon dioxide released to the atmosphere. About 20 secondary schools in Tonga decided to lend a helping hand by putting in place initiatives and work plans to help reduce more carbon sink. Sinlato reports.
Participating in this project are 17 secondary schools all over Tonga. According to the head officer of the syllabus unit of the Ministry of Education, Teresa Paholo, the program aims at reducing the impacts of climate change. The school teachers and students will choose an education area where they think is related to climate change and its impacts of the environment. From there, they will see what can be done to promote awareness and help minimize the consequences of climate change. At these work, we'll be able to help Tonga withstand and adapt to the impacts of climate change. Mrs. Baholu says that this year, the schools are starting off with tree planting programs. During the year, When the schools are implementing their projects, the Tonga Working Group Committee on Education, Climate Change and Disaster Risk Management visited the schools to inspect the progress of their work. She says she was very excited to say that the project has been a success so far. The tree planting initiative aims at creating carbon sink, and the trees will take in the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, which is released from burning rubbish, amongst other things. Meanwhile, it can also minimize the problems that carbon dioxide does to the atmosphere, while at the same time protect all living creatures from the sun. However, there is hope to expand the project the following year to include other areas related to climate change, such as safe water for all. For Television Tonga News, I'm Sinilatu.
It is important to ensure the safety of the people and road maintenance labours during working hours. This initiates a one-week program to Land Transport Division to train contractors, engineers, consultants and labourers. Linda Filet reports.
Participating in the workshop are contractors, consultants, engineers and related stakeholders. Speaking to Radio and Television Tonga News, the trainer, Perry Kandasen, says the local labour skills needs improvement.
It's a matter of trying to upskill people in terms of the way that we are maintaining our roads here. And to do that, you need some specialist knowledge. And that's in about 4 different types of courses that we're running. The first of all, the main course that we're concerned about is safety, because these materials can be very dangerous. They're hot, they're flammable, they can be explosive, and they need to clearly understand the risks so that we can clearly manage the risks and people can go home safe every night.
Meantime, Kandasen emphasised the importance of following the instruction needed when performing on the field.
The operators of the machines for spraying bitumen on the road need to be aware not only of the specialist safety requirements but also about how to operate these things properly, because not only do we want them to be able to operate safely, we want them to do a good job, and that means understanding how to get the best quality.
Meanwhile, one participant, Tom Whapaya, told Radio and Television Tonga News this training is very relevant to the operation. From this training, I have learned so many things from the technical division, and it was helped me with what I am currently doing. The program is funded by the World Bank and Asian Development Bank to the tune of almost 50,000 per anga. For Television Tonga News, I'm Linda Filiai.
And here's a look at today's latest weather.